Well, first of all, I was a very young mom, so I didn't know what to expect. So I just kind of read all the books, visited all the doctors, and did everything by the book. But I didn't know what I was doing, and that I would make a mistake in raising my kids. I remember the unity that we all had. The laughter, just sharing things together and being all together. You know, I think every day is hard. Every day you want to try to do the right thing, and every day you don't know if you're doing the right thing. So it's always hard. And like I said, you don't realize what it is until you sit down and reflect on things. You know, you don't know something has become a memory until, you think back and you miss it, you ponder on it. And, so every day is hard. It's still hard. Even with a changing society. That I thought that I needed to put the fear in my kids in order for them to respect me. When in reality, I need to show them discipline, what discipline looks like. I need to be the example in order for them to have the example to follow. But the earlier years, I had the three. So I remember, I just remember all the fun they used to have together. I know they had fights and stuff, and oh my gosh, they used to get on my nerves sometimes, but at the end of the day, they were a unit. They were together. They were a family. They were, they were siblings. They did their thing together, especially Kimmy, my oldest. She was the leader of the pack. And then you had the middle one, Johnny, who she was always lost. And then my son was just kind of, my youngest, was just kind of, go with the flow type of kids, still is. But I just remember always doing a head count, making sure everybody was together. I just remember just trying to be the best version of me for them. School and motherhood. I did it not knowing that I was doing it. So as you're going through the process at the moment, you just gotta know that it's gotta get done. The work, you gotta feed them. School, you gotta educate. The responsibilities are there. And I don't think you realize the moments of how hard, obviously it's hard at the moment, but I don't think one doesn't realize how much turmoil you've gone through until you sit back and reflected on everything that you've been through. Having children job searching. It's hard when you're trying to juggle a career and especially having 3 children. And I was still trying to find myself. So to still figure me out, to then figure these kids out, to then, having them to think that you've got it all figured out, it's hard. And then at one point, I even had 3 jobs, just trying to make it, just trying to pay the bills. And I was okay with that, but at the same time, I don't feel I was present with my kids. Every day, because you don't know if you're doing it right, So, they push you through. they always push you through. You know, especially like Kimmy being the oldest. Like, you know, like I said before, she was always the leader. She was always making sure everything was right, everybody was taken care of, you know, everything was good. So it's you wanna always make your kids proud. So they're the ones that you push through. They're the reason why you push or why you do things. I think that being in my early 20s, having 3 children, was overwhelming in itself. And trying to keep the family together was always overwhelming, especially going through the hardships that we went through, the downs that we went through, losing the house, moving the kids, switching schools. All that was overwhelming. That move from Pennsylvania to Florida in 2009, it was very overwhelming. But we were able to, well, as best we could, to kind of continue the family end of it in a new place, start fresh and start new. We were already in Florida, and I just remember she just looked like a woman. It happened from like, I felt like it happened from night and day. One day I looked at her, she has this gorgeous long curly hair. She's got like, you know, she had this fitted shirt, these, you know, jeans on, and I looked at her, she's got like this makeup on, and I'm just like, she looked older than me, like she just looked so grown. And I was like, she doesn't need me anymore. She's just her own little person. And I don't know, I remember we were in Florida, we lived in Bradenton, and we were renting a 4-bedroom home. And that's what I remember, just being her own little self. I don't know, it just, at some point, it does feel like, in a way, it makes you feel like you aren't needed anymore. You know, because it's during those trials where they're teenagers, they talk back to you, they got attitude, and, you know, so you kind of control things, you kind of lose control on things. I was watching a thing today, and it said it was a guy, and he works next to a Target. And then he said he called his daughter, and he said, "Hey, I'm stopping at the Target. Do you need anything?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I want stuffing." And then he's like, "You know what? She has 1,000,000 stuffies." And then he puts the camera to the passenger side and shows that he got this big cute bunny. And then he's like, "And yeah, I got her another stuffy. You know why? Because there's gonna be one day she's gonna stop asking for the stuffies." So no, I don't remember the last time I carried my kids, even down to the last one. How I succeeded is, obviously, I am now a grandmother. My eldest made me a grandmother. She has 2 beautiful children. She is married to an awesome husband. And, you know, and then my other kids, one, you know, she's got her degree as a registered nurse. And my son, he's been dedicated to golf. And I mean, he's been doing that for years. It taught me that I need to be patient. It taught me that I need to be the example. Be the person that I need to be, so then that way my energy can reflect off to them. I need to be the good so they can see what the good looks like. They have taught me patience. They have taught me to raise them as not how I was raised. Because it was different, it's a different time. And not that I'm saying that, my parents did the best that they could. I'm doing the best that I can. But I also have to forgive myself for certain things. So then that way I can let my kids flourish and be the person that they need to be. But there's no control over who they are. I do the best that I can. I did 18 years. And then after that, see what happens. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. You are doing a great job. You are doing a great job. Don't overthink it. Follow your heart. Follow what you know is best. Be good people in this world. Be grateful. Be disciplined, and just follow your heart.